Hello dear children, welcome to Superior English. This is Simi Kaur bringing forth before you Indigo Volume 2. Before that, a quick recap of Indigo Volume 1. On the request of Rajkumar Shukla, Gandhi came to Champaran. He was shocked to see the heartrending condition of the farmers of Champaran. Most of the land was owned by the British, who imposed a system called Tinkatia, under which the tenant farmers were forced to grow indigo, a blue dye, in 3 kathas of every bigha, 3 out of 20 parts of the land. The farmers were poorly compensated, poorly paid for the indigo crop cultivation, and had to face heavy taxation. They had to pay heavy taxes. They were not allowed to grow any other crop. This indigo was exported to Germany, and when Germany developed synthetic indigo, the farmers were stopped to grow indigo but pay compensation for being released from the Tinkatia. Gandhi, with his lawyer friends, started working on this issue. The British sensed this and ordered Gandhi to leave Champaran immediately. Gandhiji refused, was arrested and produced in the court. The massive support from the peasants of Champaran and Gandhi's own fearless attitude forced the judiciary to release him. The case was dropped. Now I begin with the explanation of Indigo Volume 2. Sir Edward Gate, the Lieutenant Governor, called for a meeting with Gandhi to get a complete know-how of the situation in Champaran. An official commission of inquiry was appointed to look into the indigo sharecropper situation. The commission consisted of landlords, government officials, and Gandhi as the sole representative of the peasants. The official inquiry came up with a lot of evidence against the landlords and big planters. They're exploiting and illegally extorting money from the poor farmers. The planters agreed to make refunds. But how much must we pay? Gandhi asked for 50% of the refund. The British planters came down to 25%. Gandhi agreed for 25%. What is important to remember here, children, is that Gandhi agreed to 25% not only to break the deadlock, but also to make the English planters realize that they were not above law. They too could be sued if they broke the law. The refund of 25% was symbolic of making them realize this. The amount of refund was less important than the fact that the landlords had been obliged to surrender part of the money, and with it, part of their prestige, part of their authority. This also made the poor peasants realize that they too had rights of their own. They too had defenders and guardians to fall back on. They learned courage. Following this, within a few years, the British planters abandoned their estates. Indigo sharecropping disappeared. Now the Hindi version. गांधी जी के कोर्ट केस से बरी होने के बाद लेफ्टिनेंट गवर्नर एडवर्ड गेट ने उन्हें बुलाया इस मामले को समझने के लिए, और इस मीटिंग के तुरंत बाद एक कमीशन बिठाई गई इस मामले की जांच करने के लिए और इसका हल ढूंढने के लिए। इस ऑफिशियल कमीशन के मेंबर्स थे लैंडलॉर्ड्स, जमींदार, गवर्नमेंट ऑफिशियल्स, सरकारी अधिकारी और महात्मा गांधी, जो चंपारण के किसान को रिप्रेजेंट कर रहे थे। कमीशन ने जांच की और ब्रिटिश प्लांटर्स और जमींदार के खिलाफ काफी मात्रा में सबूत इकट्ठा किए। फलस्वरूप उन्हें गरीब किसानों से इल्लीगली लिए गए पैसे लौटाने के लिए कहा गया। गांधी जी ने उन्हें 50% रिफंड करने के लिए कहा। वो 25% पर अग्री हुए। गांधी जी ने सहमति दे दी। बच्चों, यहाँ पर जो सबसे इंपॉर्टेंट बात है वो 50% या 25% नहीं है, बल्कि यह है कि अंग्रेजी हुकूमत को यह जताना था कि वो एक बेलगाम घोड़े की तरह अपनी हुकूमत नहीं चला सकती थी। वो भी कानून के शिकंजे में आ सकते थे। यह घटना ने अंग्रेजी सत्ता की झूठी प्रतिष्ठा और अहंकार को झकझोर कर रख दिया था, और चंपारण के गरीब और भयभीत किसान को संदेश मिल गया था कि वो अब अकेला नहीं है, उसके भी अधिकार है और उन्हें कोई इस तरह से रौंद नहीं सकता है। अब उनमें साहस आ गया। इस इंक्वायरी के पश्चात धीरे धीरे अंग्रेजी जमींदार वहां से पलायन करने लगे और इंडिगो की खेती का चलन बंद होता रहा। Gandhi was never too happy and satisfied with large political or economic solutions, or rather, he was not a loyalty to abstraction, idea, concept, or notion. He was a loyalty to living human beings. He looked into the immediate critical problems of the people and rectified them. He addressed the problems from the grassroots level and strongly believed in the saying that if you take care of small things, the big things will take care of themselves. This was in relation to the social and cultural backwardness of the village of Champaran. Now, children, we are entering into another important part of Champaran episode, and that is the social and cultural backwardness of Champaran and Gandhi's contribution in uplifting it. Dirt, filth, poverty, ignorance, and illiteracy was what Champaran consisted of. Gandhi appealed for help. He asked for teachers for schools, social workers, and doctors to improve the health and hygiene and give them knowledge and awareness. Two of Gandhi's disciples, Mahadev Desai and Narhari Parikh, and their wives volunteered for teachership. Devdas, Gandhi's youngest son, and his wife Kasturba also joined him in this cause. Kasturba Gandhi educated the people on personal cleanliness and community sanitation. Since the health condition were utterly miserable, a doctor was appointed to treat the prevalent diseases like malaria, skin eruptions, and various infections. Page 54, first para. The Champaran episode was a turning point in my life. What I did, he explained. Gandhi explained to whom? To the author, Louis Fischer, who has written this book, The Life of Mahatma Gandhi, and Indigo is an excerpt from this book. What I did, he explained, was a very ordinary thing. I declared that the British could not order me in my own country. Very often, children, this question comes in your exam. How was the episode of Champaran a turning point in Gandhi's life? What is the meaning of the term turning point? Turning point is a time at which an important change in a situation takes place, which generally brings beneficial results. It is a critical moment, a decisive moment when something happens which causes change in direction or changes life in a positive and in a better way. For example, discovering my passion for dance was a turning point in my life. So children, the Champaran episode was a turning point in Gandhi's life because, you can write the answer like this, this episode gave him the realization that the British, who were exploiting the Indians and draining the country's resources, had to be driven out. And the success in the Champaran episode gave him the drive and the strength to go ahead and carve ways and means to achieve his aim. Read the first paragraph of the chapter Indigo, page 46, where the author Louis Fischer writes, when I first visited Gandhi in 1942 at his ashram Sevagram, he said, I will tell you how it happened that I decided to urge the departure of the British. It was in 1917, and we all know that it was the Champaran episode which took place in 1917. It was the first Satyagraha movement, a major revolt in the Indian independence movement led by Gandhi, where he received unstinting, immense lot of support from the peasants, from the lawyers, was arrested, brought before the court, and finally freed. The official inquiry, the success in settling the issue, boosted the motivation of Gandhi. The deplorable condition of the village and working towards its upliftment made Gandhi realize that there is so much to do, miles to go before I sleep. Last but not the least, it was this incident of Champaran which transformed Mohandas Karamchand Gandhi to Mahatma Gandhi. Why Mahatma, children? Because the peasants looked upon him as the savior, as their Masiha, who had come to relieve them of all their troubles and woes. So children, When this question comes, you can write the answer in the following format, but do underline the punch lines, the important lines. For example, now look at the matter. This episode gave him the realization that the British who were exploiting the Indians and draining the country's resources had to be driven out. Underline. It was the first Satyagraha movement, a major revolt in the Indian independence movement. Underline. It was this incident of Champaran which transformed Mohandas Karamchand Gandhi to Mahatma Gandhi. Underline. Now, if the question comes for 6 marks, you can write the entire answer. If it comes for 2 to 3 marks, you will have to cut it short. Gandhi's politics was different from the politics of today. It was woven around the practical day-to-day problems of millions of people. His politics was not a loyalty to abstractions. It was a loyalty to living human beings. Now, children, this is another important question which you can expect in your exam. What is the meaning of the term abstraction? Abstraction is something which exists only as an idea, concept, theory, or thought. It is away from reality and practicality. For example, the bullet train is an abstraction to a poor man. What does a poor man need? Food, clothes, and shelter. He is not interested in glamorous infrastructure or expensive gadgets. He wants job, school, hospital, and Gandhi used to work accordingly. He used to go to the grassroots level, the basic level of a common man, and that is the reason how he could mobilize millions of people. He worked hard with an open mind and corresponded well. In Champaran, he felt that the peasants were so crushed with fear that it would be useless to go to the law courts. The cause of fear had to be addressed, and they ought to be provided with dignity, moral support, and emotional security. Hence, Gandhi toured the region, met hundreds of peasants, faced court arrest for refusing to leave Champaran, and consequently managed to convince the British planters to give the peasants their due. Working towards the upliftment of the backward village of Champaran again shows Gandhi's loyalty to living human beings. He opened primary schools, appointed doctors and social workers who educated the people of cleanliness and community sanitation. This question can also come in this manner. Page 53, second para. Gandhi never contented himself with large political or economic solutions. Discuss in relation to the Champaran episode. The answer remains the same. Remember, children, whenever you are writing an answer to a question like this, always relate it to the instances from the chapter. For example, if you write, Gandhi worked hard, he was a great social worker, a humanitarian, you have to mention how was he a great social worker or a humanitarian in relation to the Champaran episode. During this course of event, an Englishman by the name of Charles Freer Andrews came in contact with Gandhi, who was inspired by Gandhi's ideals and became his follower. Gandhi's lawyer friends suggested that Andrews could be included in their fold, in their group, and that he could be a mediator between them and the ruling Englishmen. But this idea was vehemently, strongly opposed by Mahatma Gandhi because he felt that one should rely on one's own capability and in the justness of the cause, not shoot one's gun from someone else's shoulder. You should not seek a prop in Mr. Andrews because he happens to be an Englishman, declared Gandhi. Prop here means support. So Gandhi did not want to achieve his aim by leaning for support, taking undue advantage of others, or at the cost of others' potential. He had read our minds correctly, Rajendra Prasad comments, and we had no reply. Gandhi in this way taught us a lesson on self-reliance. Self-reliance, Indian independence, and help to sharecroppers were all bound together. The last line, page 54. This is no doubt a weighty line, children, a very important question which you can expect in your exam. Self-reliance, Indian independence and help to sharecroppers were all bound together. Discuss in relation or in context with the Champaran rebellion. What is the meaning of self-reliance? Self-support, self-sufficiency, financially independent, can support oneself. Answer. The answer goes like this. First, we will talk about self-reliance. You will change, after that you will change the para when it comes to Indian independence. Then again you will change para when it comes to help to sharecroppers. Answer. Refusal to involve Andrews in the cause of Champaran just because he was an Englishman and therefore could be a mediator between them and the English was a way of Gandhi to teach his lawyer friends the lesson of self-reliance. One should rely on one's own abilities was Gandhi's belief. Now change the para for Indian independence. The Champaran Satyagraha of 1917 was the first Satyagraha movement inspired by Gandhiji and a major revolt in the Indian independence movement. Now change the para again for help to sharecroppers. Of course, the solution to the problem of the sharecroppers was the main agenda of this movement. Their demonstration in thousands outside the court on Gandhi's arrest liberated them from fear. The refund of their hard-earned money gave them back their dignity and courage. The measures taken to uplift their standard of living was a blessing to them. So this is the answer. And now the Hindi version. इंडिगो का किस्सा तो समाप्त हो गया, परंतु गांधी जी ने देखा कि चंपारण में और भी बहुत कुछ सुधारने के हेतु है। वह गांव अत्यंत पिछड़ा हुआ था, सामाजिक तौर पर और सांस्कृतिक तौर पर। गंदगी, भूखमरी, बीमारियां और अज्ञानता से परिपूर्ण था चंपारण। गांधी जी ने 6 गांवों में प्राइमरी स्कूल्स खोले और टीचर्स के लिए अपील की। महादेव देसाई और नरहरि पारिक गांधी जी के शिष्यों ने आगे बढ़कर यह काम स्वीकार किया। देवदास गांधी जी के छोटे बेटे और गांधी जी की पत्नी कस्तूरबा गांधी भी बढ़ चढ़कर गांधी जी के इस कार्य में उनका सहयोग दिया। स्वास्थ्य और स्वच्छता की हालत बहुत खराब थी। कस्तूरबा गांधी ने गांव वालों को सफाई और समुदाय स्वच्छता यानी कम्युनिटी सैनिटेशन के बारे में जानकारी दी। बीमारियों से जूझने के लिए एक डॉक्टर को अपॉइंट किया गया। गांधी जी का कहना था कि चंपारण का यह विद्रोह उनके लिए एक क्रांतिकारी परिवर्तन था। इसके पश्चात उन्होंने दृढ़ निश्चय किया कि वे अंग्रेजों को भारत से हटाकर ही दम लेंगे। इसी चंपारण की घटना ने मोहनदास करमचंद गांधी को महात्मा गांधी बनाया। गांधी जी बड़ी राजनीतिक उपलब्धियों में नहीं बल्कि आम आदमी की आम समस्याओं का समाधान करने में विश्वास रखते थे। चंपारण की दीन अवस्था को सुधारने के प्रयास, किसानों को उनका हक दिलाना, उनमें अवेयरनेस जागरूकता पैदा करना, उनमें साहस और निडरता डालना, यह सब एक आम आदमी के स्तर पर काम। चंपारण के इस आंदोलन के दौरान गांधी जी के संपर्क में एक अंग्रेज पैसिफिस्ट अर्थात शांतिवादी जिसका नाम चार्ल्स फ्रियर एंड्रूज था, उनके संपर्क में आए और उनके डिवोटेड फॉलोअर बन गए। गांधी जी के वकील दोस्तों ने उन्हें एंड्रूज को अपने ग्रुप में इंक्लूड करने के लिए कहा, तो गांधी जी ने इसका जोरदार विरोध किया और कहा कि हमें अपनी काबिलियत पर भरोसा करना चाहिए, ना कि किसी दूसरे के कंधे से बंदूक चलानी चाहिए। अगर हमारी नीयत सही है और इरादे नेक है तो हमें सफलता अवश्य मिलेगी। चंपारण की यह घटना ने बहुत कुछ सिखाया। सेल्फ रिलायंस, अपनी काबिलियत पर भरोसा करना, इंडियन इंडिपेंडेंस या भारत की स्वाधीनता की ओर ले जाने वाली एक महत्वपूर्ण लड़ाई थी और हेल्प टू शेयर क्रॉपर्स ऑफ कोर्स यह पूरी लड़ाई का मुख्य कारण था। चंपारण के किसानों का शोषण और शोषण यानी एक्सप्लॉइटेशन को खत्म किया गया। Now we'll work on the questions and answers. Question number 1. How was Gandhi able to influence lawyers? Give instances or examples. 3 marks. Answer. In Muzaffarpur, Gandhi scolded the lawyers for charging high fee from the poor and the distressed peasants, thereby exploiting them. First instance. Second instance, change para. In Champaran, when Gandhi faced court arrest and his lawyer friends decided to go back, Gandhi reminded them of their duty towards the distressed peasants, and they too felt that if Gandhi, being a stranger, could go to the prison for the peasants, they, being so close to the farmers' agony, could not act so indifferent. Third instance, change para. Gandhi's lawyer friends suggested that the English social reformer Charles Andrews could be involved in their cause for an easy and profitable communication between them and the English. Gandhi strongly opposed to this by saying that one should have faith in one's own abilities to win the battle. Question number 2. Freedom from fear is more important than legal justice for the poor. Discuss. 2 marks. Answer. Gandhi observed that the peasants were so fear-stricken that it would be useless to take them to the law courts for legal justice. What was important was to relieve them of their fear and timidity by working on their indigo issue and restoring their dignity, self-esteem, and infusing courage in them. Then there is another question. This is page 54. Question number 3. What was the attitude of the average Indian in smaller localities towards advocates of home rule? This I have already covered in my explanation. You can go through it. 3 very important questions I have already given during the explanation. Please go through them. This brings us to the end of the session, children. But before I sign off, I must share with you something. Children, the Champaran episode took place in 1917. In 2017, we are celebrating 100 years of this rebellion. How much has the condition of our Indian farmer changed in these 100 years? Just introspect. Isn't it the same? Then they were exploited by the British, and today their own government is being so indifferent towards their problems. The Champaran episode still exists in the farmer of Punjab, Tamil Nadu, Bihar, and Maharashtra. The farmers are reeling in agony and despair. They are waiting for a Gandhi to help them out. You can be the Gandhi they are waiting for. Do not just mug up this chapter, children, but remember the lesson it teaches you. Tomorrow you will occupy a position of merit and importance. Do use your power and position to help the poor, needy, and distressed. Let us also remember, with respect, so many other people who risked their life and their job to make this Champaran episode successful. Peer Muhammad Munish, a publisher who risked his job by going out of the way to publish the exploitation of the British on the peasants. Then we have Ganesh Shankar Vidyarthi, the brave reporter who brought into limelight the tyranny of the British in his newspaper. Of course, we also have Rajkumar Shukla, the resolute peasant, then the lawyers Rajendra Prasad, Brij Kishore Babu, and Maulana Mazharul Haq. As it is rightly said, let us thank the flame for its light, but let us not forget the lamp holder. So, with this Thanksgiving attitude, I bid you adieu. Thank you. Jai Hind.